Hello, thank you for listening. I'll do these little updates here because I have a yearning, a longing inside to be speaking and sharing my voice. And even though I'm exhausted from not sleeping through one whole night for 2 decades, from being in constant, nonstop pain for the past 3 years at least. Anyway, I do say these things over and over again, and I want to refine everything. My goal is, while I'm still here, to work on refining my individual field of information, my memory, my recapitulation capacity, to close the loops so that I don't have these repeating circuits that make my reality more perceived or experienced to be a certain way. So, as challenging as it is, as tired as I am, as in pain as I am, it's hard to sleep. I don't sleep through the whole night. I have to get up several times to go to the bathroom, to move my body this way, or make sure I'm not moving my body because my spine is so fragile. Sometimes I wake up and realize that while I was sleeping, I injured myself, and then I have to, stay in bed even longer. And it's just not, it's hard. Like, I know it could be worse. I, okay, this is kind of why I wanted to record. I know it could be worse. I do feel grateful for the silver linings. I'm not alone, Sometimes I say, oh, I'm doing this all by myself. I don't have anybody helping me. I do have people helping me. All I have to do is ask. And if it can't be taken care of immediately or right away, then it will happen at a certain time. I haven't had an experience where I've needed something. Oh, that's not true. That's not true. I have. I'm learning how to ask for help because I'm just so overly hyper vigilant and conscientious and concerned about how I'm affecting another person's life. And it's from childhood programming. And I was just watching some video a couple of days ago about children who don't get their needs met, especially like medical, emotional, stress needs, and isolate and hide. So now in my life, I isolate, and it's like comfortable to me because it's the way I was able to soothe myself to get through, was to be alone. But now when I need people more, and I need to reach out more and be comfortable reaching out more, I need to reprogram that tendency, that pattern inside my field of information that I draw from to navigate and operate. So it's like the coding, you guys are listening. Excuse me. You guys are listening to me go outside of my comfort zone and change the way I say my story and be really honest and raw and looking at it and humble. So yes, I don't have a partner. I don't have a family that I live around or that consistently is with me in any way. So in those cases, I am alone, and I am not the only person in the world that's having that. There's a lot of people in the world that have it way worse. That if they needed something, they don't even have a device to reach out to ask for help. They don't even have a voice. They don't even know how. So this place is insane. The spectrum of the amount that someone is going through torturous life experience to the other side of the spectrum where people could care less and are only focused on getting their extravagant, desirable needs met and wants met in every single moment, and that's what life is a game to ensure that they have the most amazing experience, whatever they want. It's a spectrum, and I think it's in Gnostic terms called abraxas. It's the full accompaniment. Oh my goodness. It fully encompasses the spectrum of tragic to amazing, dark to light, that this place, that this realm, that this life is. It's everything, all at the same time. And for whatever reason, I am experiencing this type of a situation. And I would like to have a little bit of wiggle room to be able to change the way I think about things, the way I see the world, the way I feel, my baseline energetic signature, the way I feel, who I am, the qualia of me. You know, if that makes any difference in fine-tuning my instrumentation, my interface to have a different experience, because I don't want to add more suffering to my experience. That's one common thing I've said on this particular channel over the past 10 years in different ways. Woven into me processing emotions publicly and being really vulnerable, but also being a little performative because I was finding my way to find my authenticity. And I was still masking at the same time, though. I was still using all those strategies, you know, about, you know, looking cute and engaging and sweet and fun and smart and all that stuff, which I naturally am. I don't need to try and do anything to make anybody think that. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. So it's a long, and people will say, get over your childhood. It was bad for me too. It was bad for them too. It's how long ago was that? Get over it. Well, I had this doll called a Cricket doll, and you put a cassette tape in her back, and then you would press play, and her mouth would move and her eyes would move depending on what was on the tape. And I loved it. And I was thinking recently, oh my God, it's basically like my childhood between the ages of 0 and 7, the most programmable time of a human development. You're basically, and there's that quote, you should give me a child from the ages of 0 to 7 and I'll show you the man for the rest of his life. Basically put the tape in my back, pressed record, and said things like, who do you think you are? Or calm down, or leave me alone. Just like things that made it feel that I was small and that I needed to keep my needs and thoughts and energy to myself, that I was inconveniencing the environment around me, that I was too hyper or that I was too depressed without having any help with those things, programmed me my tape. So now at 46 years old, I still have that tape running, and my mouth and my eyes are moving because of what's on that tape. And isn't that the biggest job, to record over that tape? Can we do that for ourselves? So that's what I've been trying to do. Also, while being in excruciating pain, not sleeping a whole night. For 20 years, I haven't slept. I can't sleep a whole night because I have to get up like 3 or 4 times. So it's like sleeping in 2-hour blocks. But that's not a big deal. People sleep weird times. It doesn't matter. There's like all these pressures. Oh, you have to sleep from 11 p.m. until 9 in the morning. And then you get up and start your day, and everybody's doing that, and that's what's socially acceptable. So I guess a part of being injured and having like a really specific, unique life that I have to figure out how to live and engineer things for myself, etc., made me experientially realize like, oh, there isn't just one type of life here. Thanks for listening.